How a national bank almost lost $1 billion. 5th February 2016, a weekend holiday in South Asian country of Bangladesh. Most banks are closed on Fridays and Saturdays on religious grounds. While it seemed like a normal day of prayer and relaxing for the Bangladeshis, the North Korean cyber warfare unit known as the Lazarus Group, a reference to the biblical character who comes back from being dead. This criminal cyber unit had been planning for such a moment in time for years.
You are watching RRL TV.
Under North Korea's leadership, potential students who are excellent at solving math problems since early school days are recruited to join the army of elite hackers. North Korea, being economically isolated from the West and most countries of the world, find its way to survive and fund its nuclear program and build modern cities to be in par with the rest of the developed nations, which in turn forces them to use any method, including illegitimate means, to finance themselves. On May 2015, 4 bank accounts were opened in Manila-based RCBS Bank for the transactions. The owners of the accounts were fake, which the local authorities couldn't detect. Almost a year later, on January 2006, the breach to the Bangladesh Bank was established by exploiting the lack of firewall, and as some believe, was possible with the help of someone from inside. The access to the servers made it possible to breach the SWIFT network by injecting malware. Probably the hackers installed a keylogger to get the passwords that was used for authorizing transactions. On 4th February 2016, instructions was made to pay for 35 transactions worth $951 million to the Federal Reserve in the US. The SWIFT Alliance access software used in banks across the globe was the target of attack. Payments were directed by the hackers to the bank account in Sri Lanka and the Philippines. It has been reported that the Manila-based bank was used to funnel the money, where the money disappeared into the several casinos within the country. Aiming at $100 million, the attackers were successful to withdraw $81 million in total from February 5 to 9. It is said that nearly 3 dozen requests were made by the hackers in the name of Bangladesh Bank, which had deposits in the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, to Sri Lanka and the Philippines. Hackers were detected while trying to ship money to an NGO in Sri Lanka called Shalika Foundation, where they spelled foundation as F-A-N-D-A-T-I-O-N. Therefore prompting a routing bank, Deutsche Bank, to reconfirm with the Bangladesh Central Bank about the transaction. On discovering the unauthorized permission, the transaction was halted immediately. Later, hacker identification was confirmed when recovered files through backup of the bank IT system that the technique and tools used in the attack was linked to the North Korean sponsored hackers group called Lazarus. Kaspersky, who managed to access the data, summarized the activities of the cyber criminal group as follows. Its malware has been found in many serious cyber attacks, such as the massive data leak and file wiper attack on Sony Pictures Entertainment in 2014, also in Operation Dark Soul, which attacked South Korean media and financial companies in the year 2003. Apparently, the targeted SWIFT, or Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications software, had no host-based intrusion detection system, which led to about $80 million in loss. Further, a database firewall could have prevented the malware from accessing the Oracle database. Some sort of relief came in the year 2019 in the Philippines, as former manager at RCBC with 6 other executives were convicted and are subject to a very strict sentences for money laundering. Meanwhile, the Lazarus Group of North Korea are roaming freely and are on the hunt for new loopholes in the financial world. Most recently, the FBI has said they are behind the disappearing of $100 million worth of crypto.